Hey guys, what's up? It's been a long time since I've done one of these videos. It's 2026 and no one has an attention span anymore, so I don't know if anyone's gonna watch this. For those of you who still like these kind of traditional YouTube videos, you're welcome to enjoy it. I'm even wearing my big girl hair today. The color doesn't really match, but I think it looks cute anyways. So a few months ago, I think it's been months, that I've asked you for your questions for this video. A little big sister talk. And I received a lot of questions from you. I picked out some of them and I'll answer them for you today. Bingsu's snoring. I'm not sure if you can hear it. Okay, does it get better in your 30s? Asking from a 25-year-old. Well, I think it depends. Some things for me got really shitty in my 30s, but all in all, I like my 30s better than my 20s because I feel like I've grown so much throughout my 20s, and now I feel a little more calm and I can deal better with my emotions. Overall, I feel a lot more healthy mentally and also physically. I don't know, I think it's because I've learned to treat myself better. I have so much more self-love and I'm doing much more self-care than in my 20s. So yeah, I think the 30s are better. You should look forward to your 30s. What is your attachment style? Okay, so my attachment style has been anxious attachment for the majority of my life. But I've come so far that I would actually say nowadays I'm leaning more towards a secure attachment style, which is crazy because I never thought that I would get there. Having an anxious attachment style, I bet some of you know, it's one of the worst pains, and I definitely recommend you to try EMDR therapy and specifically target that anxious attachment, because that will help you lots in life and with relationships in the future. How are you really feeling, girl? I've noticed that some of you are worried about if I'm doing okay, if I'm really doing okay. By now, I truly am okay. I wasn't at first, absolutely not. But I have such a strong support system, and also I'm really distancing myself from anything that's not my business anymore. I'm wishing everyone the best. I don't really care about what's being said or done anymore. I just want my peace and move forward, honestly, because I think I deserve it. Someone treats me very kindly. I want to know if he loves me. Please help me. Okay, I think you have no other choice but to ask. I know that can be hard, but I think I'm at an age where I'm just like, just go for it. Just ask, be direct. I don't like beating around the bush. At least that's my approach. I know not everyone is like that, but that's the only way you're gonna find out. I'm still unable to let go of him, although he's married already. Still can't forget him. What to do? Well, I think as heartbreaking as it sounds, he decided to marry someone else and not you. So he doesn't deserve a single tear from you. I know it's easier said than done, but I know everyone thinks differently about that, but for me, it's like once that person has someone else in their life, like that helps me personally to get over them very quickly. It's like for me that flips a switch where I can finally really let go and think, oh, okay, so that's not the person for me. So that can be a pretty helpful thing. But if you're not like that and you're still unable to let go, that's a pretty clear sign for you to start focusing on yourself, start working on your self-love, self-worth. That's really the most important thing. It might be weird at first. Be open to the idea to maybe someday meet someone new and someone even better. Someone that wants to marry you and not someone else. It's hard to be rational in these type of situations, but if he's already married, I'm sorry, but I think you have to let him go. Hi, I'm 18 and I'll be starting university soon. Do you have any advice? Don't put too much pressure on yourself. I think that's the advice I would have needed in my 20s. Yeah, that, and also treat yourself more kindly, please. I mean that in every way. Talking to yourself in a kind way It makes all the difference, trust me. Good luck to you. You can do it. You're strong and I believe in you. And you should believe in yourself too. What kind of activities do you do for yourself as someone who lives alone? Of course, I love spending quality time with my little baby girl. It's the best part of my day. And I've learned to cook for myself. Oh, that's really changed my life because now I'm able to eat whatever I want, whenever I want. And that for me is a huge luxury. And I also like to go out by myself sometimes and try out new cafes, maybe take my laptop and get some work done, watching shows, movies at home, playing video games. Sometimes I read horror books. And yeah, of course, meeting family and friends from time to time. How do you know if a man really loves you or just loves the way that you love him? Oh, that's a good one. Well, I think you can see it clearly in the way that he treats you. Is he attentive, reliable, caring? Does he remember your preferences? These things will clearly tell you if he actually likes you or just the way you treat him. You really just have to look at his behavior towards you over a longer period of time. Because if he just treats you well in the beginning, that's obviously not what we want. But if he stays consistent with it, I think that's a sign that you're really important to him. Does true love exist? I think so, yes. I still believe in love. I never stop believing in love. Just because one thing doesn't work out, that doesn't mean that there isn't someone out there for you. I'm interested in a younger guy. Is that bad? No, why would that be bad? I mean, it depends on how young and how old you are, right? But if it's in a legal range, then of course, why not? I personally don't believe in caring too much about age or height. What would you recommend as a snack on a hot day besides ice cream? Oh, so random, I love it. Watermelon. How to start a good relationship. What comes to mind is slow, steady, calm, secure. Like if you take things slow and don't put pressure on the other person or on yourself. If you don't have a timeline, that's a good thing. Like just getting to know each other slowly and letting the love unfold naturally. Did you ever feel like you lost your individuality when you first got into a relationship? Oh, totally. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I did feel like that before. And nowadays I think it's so important to, keep your individuality. I'm in my first relationship ever as an adult. How do I not be too nervous about my first kiss? Oh, that's cute. I love that. But I think no matter your age, you will always be nervous about your first kiss. I mean, it's your first kiss. Excuse me? I think that's really totally normal, and I can't really give you any tips on that except breathe, keep breathing, and trust the process. I for sure am a nervous mess when it comes to first dates. The more I like the person, the worse it gets. How often should a guy or partner do romantic things for you? I think it should be a given to give and receive romantic little things and gestures on a daily basis. I think it should be natural, like even if it's just the smallest things like saying thank you or a little kiss on the forehead. At least that's what I expect from a healthy relationship now. How do you differentiate between attachment and genuine love or crush? I think attachment feels unstable, anxiety inducing, uneasy, and like you can't live without that person. And on the other hand, I think love feels warm, safe, calm, and like you don't want to live without that person. You know, I think there's a big difference between these two. How to deal with the thought of you're running out of your time in your 30s? Well, I guess for me, the fact that I personally don't plan to have any children definitely helps. That takes a lot of pressure off of me, but it can be a massive pressure for women to feel like your biological clock is ticking. I can't really give you any tips on that. But yeah, for any other topic, I stopped putting too much pressure on myself. And I mean, nowadays the world is chaotic. Almost no one can be super certain of their future, you know? Naturally, our future will look different than the lives of the generations before us. And I think that's okay. That's fine. We just have to somehow navigate it all together. And let's try to not put any deadlines on things. What do you want to achieve in 2026? Well, I think I want to achieve being happy most of the time. Sounds cheesy, but yeah, I think that's my #1 goal, being happy and being healthy. Also, I want to start a new business project. It might still take a little while. It involves a lot of preparing, but yeah, I'm very excited for that. I think I want to travel somewhere at least once and make as much content for you as my energy allows. Yeah, I think that's my plan for this year. What is the most important lesson you learned from a past relationship? Don't lose yourself and don't settle for less than you deserve. I'm in a situationship. I want us to start dating, but it's a little slow. Should I ask? I'm actually not that sure what it means to be in a situationship. I might be too old for that, I don't know. But I think communication is always the key. Just be clear about your expectations, and I think you should ask and also be prepared to deal with any type of outcome, which can be hard, but at least you have clarity. Do you have any tips on how to feel more confident with being taller? Thank you. I think whenever you get insecure about it, try to think of other tall women that you admire. I think that's a great inspiration. There's so many beautiful tall women out there. I think tall women are pretty cool and hot. What's a boundary you've set that has helped your mental health? Cutting off toxic people who don't feel the need to work on themselves. I think that helps a lot actually. Even though it's not always easy to do that, but it's very crucial to your inner peace. What apps do you use for editing? Final Cut? CapCut, Photoshop. Ways that you self-care or help with anxiety. Thank you and love you. Love you too. Giving myself hugs is actually a big one. And I'm also giving myself little pats on the back throughout the day, just for the tiniest things that I think I did well. And I'm talking to myself strictly in a positive and loving way, like a mother would who loves you unconditionally. At first that can be a little bit weird if you're not used to it, but over time that really helps your nervous system to calm down, and you feel that kind of security within yourself, knowing that you won't judge yourself for making mistakes. So I hope this video was interesting and maybe even a little bit helpful for you. Let me know in the comments which type of videos you would like to see, and if you're more into long form content or short form these days. So I hope you guys liked this video. Leave a like if you did, and as always, don't forget to subscribe for more videos. I see you in the next one. Bye bye!